Good afternoon, this is Steve with Born Again Torinos, and I have been working on the 55 Chevy. And here's where I ended up today, and I'm trying to figure out on this head band for the GoPro what angle to have it at so I'm not missing what I'm trying to show you. So if I'm missing it, like, I don't know if you're seeing this right here, I would have it angled. I'm sure trying, but we'll see. Worked on the roof. Oh my goodness. It's got a nice slight dome to it. So it's got like, I've sanded off, this is probably layer 4. And it's got a lot of stuff like this. This right here is an impact. And so that's why the original gray paint from when this car was new is right there. But it's coming along really nicely. I'm a little surprised. My arms feel like spaghetti after doing the sanding on this, because you have to board sand it, and it wants to oil can, and when you put some weight on it, so you can't put any gusto in your sanding. So that's kind of a drag. And this right here, it was impacted, so it was concaved in like this. So I put my stud welder on, pulled it out best I could, because you can't really get it flat to weld onto it to get the rod on. So I got it out, hammered it from the inside, and had my torch on it to just really get it red hot to soften it and hammer it. And the metal was just fatigued and ripped, so there was a section pulled away. And this is spot welded in. And I had to weld in a piece, a triangle piece in here. And this is, see, there's two colors here. This has been two layers so far sanded on, worked on, and got the body line back. And I was working on that other fender over there, but I really don't have time to sit there and film and show and film and show. I wouldn't get any work done, so I can't show you the process. So I thought I would leave one fender undone and one I'm working on so you can see what I'm dealing with. The gray is the original paint of the car, of the truck. It was glossy gray. And then it was painted at some point yellow. This is where it was down to metal, and then it surface rusted. And you see all these little dings. I didn't realize how bad these fenders were. They're totally fixable because they're not rusted or anything. They're just dinged up, just crazy. And the part of the problem is it's expected, because this is when you're loading this thing up, things are falling and hitting. That's why you see these marks here that I marked in. These are impacts that are like this that have knocked it down. So it's raised up an area here. So this, let me start over. That other area looked like this too. And it had old Bondo in that Gary had put on that. For some reason, that's very, I love sanding off old Bondo. I don't know why, it's just fun. But first I board sanded the fender with my longboard. And that made very shiny spots, because it took it right down to the metal again of all the high spots and left the low spots. It was really obvious where all the dents were, and the high spots and low spots. And so then I went underneath and out with the dolly and took out some dents, and I think there's a big dent there. So then board sanded it some more, did some dents, board sanded, got it relatively good, and then I put a guide coat over this whole top area. And when that dried, I board sanded that, and it really revealed every flaw. So then I sanded it again, and I did the first layer of the blaze glaze, the ultra fine finishing putty on the fender, sanded that, board sanded it, because if you use a DA, it's too soft, it'll go into low spots and it's pointless, you've wasted your time. So you have to board sand it, it'll leave it in the low spots, and you can't do it once, you have to do it multiple times. So that's what happened here. Now this is layer 3, and I'm alternating my filler color so you can see when you're sanding if you got a high or low spot. but there was Gary had done some repairs here, 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 and here, and they were proud, so I had to level those, and then, like I said on the other side, that's what I did. Layer, 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 board sand. So I think this is it's layer 2 or layer 3, I don't remember. And so this was the last thing I put on. It's very smooth now, and when I sand it, because I haven't sanded it yet, it's going to reveal more problems, and I'll have to do it probably 2 more times at least. And I did these tops of the rear fenders first, almost first, because they're pretty much the worst thing on the truck, because they're what took the most abuse. Inside the bed, on top of here, which will be not bad to fix, top of the tailgate, which has got layer 2 on it, a filler, and so I had to board sand this so you can see the 2 different colors, because this took a lot of abuse, but it's a really good tailgate. So yeah, it's a work truck, of course it's going to get dented here. And what else? Those are the 3 areas I worked on today. So I'm really happy how that came out, and almost happy with this because I have to do more on it. This I'm excited to sand tomorrow and get going on, because it went from hideous to, woo, that's really nice. And what else? Things like this. You know, there's a raise, you can feel it there. There's some proud spots that need to be worked. Gary had done some welding. He welded on new corners here back in the 90s, and there's the seam, so we'll have to address that and get that tidied up. Thankfully there's no rust anywhere. That is wonderful. See these fenders. See, that's all good there. Here's another corner he welded on, and you can see where these were proud high spots. You can see where I tapped them down, so now they're slightly concave. So now when I sand and then fill, those will disappear. And this was a problem here, and we figured out it was hit right here. There's a really good low spot there, which caused this to buckle. See, it's supposed to be like that, and it keeps the curve of the door as it should, but when I let go, it sinks in because it's smacked right there. So that's got to pull out, and then we'll get that to stay. And here's the original paint. Isn't that beautiful? It's like brand new. This is what, see, it's a 56, what is this, 64 years old paint, and it's perfect like the day it was painted right there. And got the front marker lights out. That was a nightmare. It's got surface rust here, but these 2 bolts I could not figure out because there's nothing here, no screws. That would have been smart to put screws in and take screws out, that would come out, but they did it really weird, and they could not see these nuts on the inside of the fender. It's heavily undercoated, and so I'd use a wire brush on my drill and take off that, and then it exposed the nuts, and I could get these off. So we're going to replace these. We have a dent here. I don't know if you can see it. There's something very heavy hit it like that. So that's where we're at. Oh, that's hideous. Absolutely hideous. So how's this? See, this is not bad. There's right here some areas where it's been hammered. You can tell it's been hammered and worked, so I'll have to redo that. One of these wheel lips, I think it's the other side, has a crease in it. There's a dent there. The door is nice. Very nice. Cowl's nice. Fender's very nice. No problems. That fender's beautiful. Here's two old Bondo repairs here and here. But he did a good job. That's going to dress up nice. Well done, Gary. Yeah. Fender's very good. Except for that big dent. That's all very nice. Little ripple there. There's a crease right here. More of a scratch, deep scratch. And there's a dent right here. I sure hope you guys can see this. It'd be awful if I'm pointing at the sky or at my feet. And just on the cab has a couple small spots. That one's already done. Okay, so progress, headway, looking good. Oh, there's the phone. I'm going to have to sign off. Yeah, here's the dent right here. Small little dent, crease. And the tops of these, that is really hard. There's a dent there. One dent. One slight dent there. 2, 3, 4. On this side, there's a really good gash here. Something smacked it like that. That must have been really hard because this is a strong point. And that's 1/8 of an inch in. Dent. 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 So this side's not as good. That's a very strong piece. I'm just not surprised that's in good shape. Well, that's that. Making progress already. So Stephanie, Gary, it's coming along. The kit needs to be ordered for this, which will be new chrome strips and bolts and all the pre-cut 3 different size widths boards, so those can be relayed in. So I got to cut these guys out. I've left it like this because I'm standing in there to get to the roof, and that's that. If you have not subscribed, that would be awesome, and ring the bell for notifications. Glenn is arranging transportation to Australia for the Torino, and I'm sure he's pretty excited to see it. Tried to get it in his garage and enjoy it. He's got some tinkering to do on it, figure out why the alternator light is on, and it's got a fluid leak, which I think is transmission. I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't look like motor oil, but it's not huge. And if I can get the horn addressed for him, I will, because the horn doesn't work and that pad is all messed up. So see, I got distracted again. Thank you, and tune in to the next episode. I guess that would be episode 3 of the 55 Chevy. And I gotta get this covered up because they're forecasting rain, but you know how that goes. It'll probably be sunny. So this has been Steve with Born Again Torinos, and thank you very much.